And this is the dilemma that humanity as a whole faces. You know, our Mr. Hawking, the great British physician who died a year or two ago, said that probably very likely, on the law of probabilities, almost certainly, there have been other planets which have hosted, there's hundreds of billions of them, have hosted life like we have here on planet Earth, and that's evolved through to intelligence to the point where it's able to fiddle with the circumstances which gave it life. And on this planet, that's this Goldilocks planet of ours, which is right at the right distance from the sun to host life and has water, ice and steam. And here we are. But he was just extrapolating that you then go on to artificial intelligence, nuclear weapons, chemical, biological interference, and no restraint on it. And the people who run this are those who less think about the consequences, who are less able to wait, who haven't got time like our indigenous forebears, who don't want to sit and think about anything. They just want to make more, innovate. The rush of excitement, of exploitation and things we haven't had before. And we're right in the middle of this. And his theory is that unless humanity, of course, takes a check on itself, we're going the same way as... the Murdoch Press had a field day when I talked about this at a oration in... We Earthians aren't in contact with anybody else because they've done themselves in over there. They're not responding to us. And unless we think... It's a perfectly logical thing. Unless we think this out, and good-hearted people stop the brutes from getting the votes and running our lives, then we're going to come to what the late Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, would call a pretty kettle of fish. We're going to be in strife, and we are in strife, and it takes good-hearted... I was very pleased to launch the Greens team for Shire Council here this morning down at Yarunga, and I was very pleased to be able to say at that it looks like Germany may, at the next election in a couple of months' time, return the first Greens government on the planet. But if the Greens don't do it, and they're ahead of the Conservatives and way ahead of the former socialist opposition, which has really lost its way in that country, and if the Greens don't do it, other entities will come along and do it. Good-hearted people getting together. But it is a race against time, and the people in power have it organised. They have the money, they have the self-interest, and they want to keep dangling through the advertising system their wares to we were talking about climate change. Everybody knows about climate change and the threat it is to our grandkids. And at the end of this century, on current projections, 90% of the Murray-Darling Basin, the great breadbasket of Australia, will be non-productive. And that at least 20% of incomes will be diverted to fixing up the damage from climate change. This is not talking about the international movement of people now at 150 to 200 million a year because of climate disruption. So there it is. What do we do about it? I classify all of us folk in here as being empathetic. But the danger is when we're empathetic and apathetic. And what we have to do is step off the footpath, and that's what Billy did down in the... I'm at this stage in life where I can't sit back and just worry about it. Have to take action because, as you know, Paddy, taking action is better than being depressed. And that's the way it goes.